Hey everyone, I'm Nisha. Welcome to Tales in Text and welcome to another episode of Books and Tarot. In today's Books and Tarot episode, I'm going to be reviewing The Travelling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. The Travelling Cat Chronicles is a Japanese book that was written by a Japanese author Hiro Arikawa, and it has been translated into English by translator Philip Gabriel. The book follows a sort of dual perspective narration about the life of a man and a stray cat. Now, this book is just amazing. I think it is one of the top 2022 books for me currently. It was. You could consider this sort of like a slice of life book which follows the experiences of both the man Satoru and his pet cat Nana, who actually is a stray cat and then he becomes a pet cat. The book follows their journey as they travel in their little silver van to different parts of Japan. Why, you will find out in the book. If you own a cat yourself, then I think you will really resonate with the feelings in this book. Satoru is someone who loves his cat, and if you like cats or if you want to have a cat of your own, I think Nana makes for one of the most interesting literary animal characters you'll have ever seen. I think Nana's character in particular has been written so beautifully. Nana's observations about the world, Nana's perspectives on what makes cats different from humans, Nana's, trying to understand the world from a human perspective and trying to see the world in a way where it reflects what humans see as opposed to what he as a cat is used to seeing and experiencing and feeling. It's just absolutely wonderful getting into the mind of a cat and just listening to Nana's observations, Nana's rants, and Nana's complaints, and also Nana's confidences and compliments and just everything. This book is just really nice. The joy in this book, more than reading about their journey across Japan in their little silver van, is actually exploring their relationship as a pet parent and a pet. What is that special bond? What does it look like? What does it feel like, especially as someone who may not have a pet? For example, I don't have a pet of my own. I've always wanted one, but I've never had the opportunity to get one. And for me personally, it was just really beautiful to experience for a moment what it might feel like to have a pet, and the kind of love and the trust and the loyalty that is there between a pet parent and a pet. The book is very short. It is just shy of 6 hours, and it's a perfect book to pick up if you're getting back to reading or you're reading for the very first time. The translation from Japanese has been done beautifully. It's very easy to understand and it reads as authentically as if it was written in English. But what makes the Travelling Cat Chronicles really spectacular is the audible narration by George Bladgen. Now, George has gone above and beyond in terms of narrating this book. He brings to life Nana's character with sarcasm. I think George Bladgen got Nana down 100%. I would say pick up the audible version instead of the written one, because the audible narration is just spectacular. It adds a zinger to the book that really elevates the experience of reading this book. And in fact, if until and unless you listen to the book on Audible, you won't realize that the special ingredient is missing. I think this book is child friendly, it is teen friendly, and it is adult friendly. People across age groups can read this. There is a lot of sensitivity to this book because it discusses so many different aspects of life. It discusses really tough experiences such as death and illness and disease and homelessness, and it tackles these issues with such sensitivity and with such maturity, especially when discussed from the perspective of a cat. It really puts things in place, especially for us when we view these topics in human terms versus what a cat might think when you consider things like death, homelessness, disease, and so on. the contrast is brilliant, and I think this unique perspective is something that we all need to experience and explore at least once in our lives. So definitely do pick this book up, and like I mentioned, stick to the Audible version because it is amazing. I couldn't think of a tarot card to pull for this because I did find an oracle card that I felt did much better justice to this book, and it is this one: I honor animals with reverence. So this is actually from the Amenti Oracle. This is one of my favorite Oracle decks. And this one says, I honor animals with reverence. And I think this card really encapsulates the theme of this book because of just how beautiful the relationship between Satoru and Nana is. Satoru doesn't just love cats, he is passionately loyal towards them too. And he has this, he's able to understand a cat's change in mood, change in behavior, even at the slightest cues, that only a person who truly loves cats and understands cats might be able to do that, and not everyone can pick up on these subtle changes that happen. And Satoru is just so intuitive. I think that's the perfect word here. He's so intuitive of Nana's needs, just as how Nana is intuitive of Satoru's needs. So I think for that, I honor all animals with reverence just feels perfect for that, because it is only someone who honors and loves and respects animals, and who treats them as equals, and who's willing to look at animals as someone, as an entity who is just like them, and to treat them with the same respect that they would like to be treated. I think those are the kind of people who can be so intuitive towards an animal's needs. Otherwise, we've seen so many cases around the world where people still treat animals as something second hand, as God's second hand creation, as someone less than humans. And so to see a book, or to read a book wherein we see that a human has this much love and reverence for their for animals in general, and also for their pet, it's just really touching. So for me, the major energy of this book is encapsulated in this card: I honor all animals with reverence. This book is also about getting closure. There are a lot of things that happen in the book, in this story, that you will find out, which is also about gaining closure. Ultimately, it's also about kindness. It's kindness not just towards animals. That is not just kindness that Satoru displays towards Nana, or what Nana displays towards Satoru. It's kindness that you show yourself for having not done all the things that you wanted to do in life, or for having done things that you wanted to change and that you wanted to redo. It's showing kindness to yourself and others, and accepting that life is just sometimes uncontrollable, it's unpredictable, and we do the best we can with the circumstances that we're in. And then once that time is past, once we're ages away from whatever happened or whatever didn't happen, there's no point crying over spilled milk, but it's best to just make the best use of whatever we have, whatever we've created for ourselves. And it is because of these nuanced layers that are present in the Travelling Cat Chronicles that I really love this book, because at face value, it's just about a guy and his cat who go on a trip. But what lies underneath is just so complex and so beautifully written, and it's so beautifully translated, because that's the one thing about translations, isn't it? Everything can get lost in translations, and it's very hard to retain the depth of emotion that the writer in the original language would have conveyed. But Philip Gabriel has done a phenomenal job, and George Blackden has done an even more amazing job in retaining this essence through the voiceovers that he's performed for Nana and Satoru and for everybody else. So yeah, this brings me to the end of this Books and Tarot review, and definitely do check this out. If you've read this book, do let me know what you think of it. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to check out my other Books and Tarot episodes as well. There are plenty. Yeah, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification button so you don't miss out on any of my content. Thanks for watching. Bye.